welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Ugly Show. So today we're taking a little look at something known as a response song or an answer song. Also later came to be known as a diss track, well that might be slightly something different. But anyway, we're going to explore the field of people replying to a previous song with another song. So the origins of this particular style of track became widely popular during the blues and R&B era of the 1930s to the 1950s. It's also very popular in country music still to this day, usually a male to a female or female to a male, and has recently become more popular as a diss track in rap battles and that kind of thing. So the origins can be traced back to Sir Walter Raleigh and Christopher Marlowe exchanging poetry. One example being Sir Walter Raleigh's passionate shepherd to his love, 1599, replied to by Christopher Marlowe with the Nymph's Reply from 1600. And another early example would be I Wonder Why Bill Bailey Don't Come Home by Arthur Collins from 1902, which was a response to Bill Bailey, Won't You Please Come Home by Huey Cannon.
It's so vast, it's almost too much for the human brain to get your head round.
Not that Bill Bailey. So what we're going to do now is go on to 10 examples, 10 tracks. I like to break these lists down like a top 10 or 10 best or whatever. So today we're just going to look at 10 different examples of exactly what I mean. Yeah. So to begin, we have Bearcat by Rufus Thomas from 1953.
You ain't nothing but a bearcat, been scratching at my door.
So this was a response to Hound Dog by Big Mama Thornton from 1952.
You ain't nothing but a hound.
Also more mainly known as a song by Elvis. Big Mama Thornton did it first, Elvis Presley covered it, and that became a very, very famous thing indeed. So with this being an early example and people not really understanding like what the response song was all about, Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who wrote it, did actually sue Rufus Thomas, and they won. So it's a miracle that anyone ever did another response song after that, but it became quite a popular thing. So next we have Superstar by Lydia Murdoch from 1983.
I'm Billie Jean and I'm mad as hell. I'm a woman with a story to tell. Superstar, you know just who you are.
And this was a response to Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, also from 1983. So this was a kind of a female kind of comeback to it. It's kind of Michael Jackson having a pop, so she's having a pop back. That's the kind of thing. So this began a kind of like female to male or male to female feud kind of response song. So this kind of turned it around a little bit. Quite a clever song, and not actually as widely known as I thought it would be. I've asked a few people recently if they've heard the track, and a lot of them have said no. I thought it was quite a popular one. This is what kind of made me think about making this video in the first place. But yeah. So next we'll move on to one of my favourites on here actually, which is It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels by Kitty Wells from 1952.
It wasn't God who made honky tonk angels.
And that was a response to The Wild Side of Life by Hank Thompson from also 1952.
I didn't know God made honky tonk angels.
So this response song, actually written by a man, DJ Miller, is an interesting thing. So Hank Thompson, basically his song is blaming the lady for the man cheating on his wife, saying that he couldn't resist the wild side of things and saying that the women, you know, they made him do it by their evil ways or whatever. It kind of, you know, preaches that a little bit. Whereas the female perspective is great, especially the line, too many married men think they're still single, which has caused many a good girl to go wrong. I quite like, because it really is taking the opposite side of it. So, you know, that kind of, you know, did you fall when your dick slipped? That kind of thing, you know? This song was also covered by many a great country legend, being Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline, and Tammy Wynette. So next up we have Yes, I'm Lonely Tonight by Dodie Stevens from 1960.
Yes, I'm lonesome tonight, and I miss you tonight.
That, of course, was a response to the famous Elvis Presley number, Are You Lonesome Tonight?
I wonder if you're lonesome tonight.
had me playing plus tags.
Actually originally written by Roy Turk and Lou Handman in 1926. And this was quite a trend of the 1950s and 1960s of doing the whole response song. There's quite a lot of them out there from those two decades, mainly the 60s. There were whole like compilation albums of this stuff. I'll stick one on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, quite a big deal back then. And next we move on to one of my favourites, How Do You Sleep at Night by John Lennon from 1971.
So Sergeant Pepper took you by surprise.
Of course, this was a response to Paul McCartney's Too Many People from also the same year.
Too many people reaching practices.
So the whole battle between the two Beatles, that was quite an interesting one. And I think this was the first time that two people who had worked together professionally in the music industry were firing shots at each other. So I guess this may even be cited as the first diss track, quite possibly. Well, Paul McCartney's one would have been first. So he released his on Ram and it took shots at John and Yoko being very preachy and not being completely genuine, I think was the idea. But yeah, this was after the Beatles had just disbanded, 1971, the year later. The Beatles, it ended badly, as we all know. We're all pretty aware of that. But yeah, this song is particularly fun. I love some of the lyrics in it. The only thing you did was yesterday, and since you come me just another day. All of that. It's a hard-hitting song, really. I mean, it's as far as diss tracks go, it's got to be up there as one of the biggest.
How do you sleep, you cunt? Okay, stop.
So next, we move on to Fuck With Dre Day, or Fuck With Dre Day, by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg from 1993.
Don't even respect your ass, so now it's time for the doctor to check your ass, fool.
So, this was a response to Fuck Compton by Tim Dog from 1991. It's kind of a response to that, but mainly it just takes shots at Eazy-E, who we used to work with in NWA, as we all know, starting the whole kind of battle between them off, which went on a little bit, to be honest. If you go back to Tim Dog's Fuck Compton, that was the song that ignited the feud between the West Coast and East Coast, criticising West Coast hip-hop. So that opened up a big doorway of shit right here. So that was when the kind of answer reply song kind of mutated into the diss track, and that's kind of been where it's at ever since. I haven't heard a nice reply song since the 90s. Not as far as I'm aware. No. Maybe. Now, if you enjoy watching these videos as much as we enjoy making them, please help the channel out by hitting the donate button right there. Basically, you can click on that and give as much or as little as you want. Anything will help the channel out. It's all good. Back to the video. So next up, just for fun, we have London Boys by Johnny Thunders from 1978.
Are you killing me? Shut my mouth. If I wasn't kissing, you would be around. You talk about back at little mommy boy. You're still at home, you got your shop around.
So this was basically a response to New York by the Sex Pistols from 1977.
Just a lot of shit coming to this.
They took shots at the New York Dolls for being rip-offs, and also about their kind of femininity and a lot of things about the New York Dolls. I mean, listen, the song's quite a nasty song, really, quite a venomous song, to be fair. But also, there was something a little tongue-in-cheek about it, as we know the Sex Pistols were big New York Dolls fans, as they've stated in many, many interviews, Sid Vicious and Steve Jones particularly, trying to mimic them even. Also something that I'm pretty sure Johnny Thunders was aware of, as when he came to record the track, he had Steve Jones and Paul Cook playing on it. So that's two people playing on a song that's having a go at a song they wrote in another band. There's got to be a first for this list, I think. And now we have I'm Happy They Took You Away by Brian Rayburn, also known as Josephine the 15th.
I'm happy they took you away. Ha ha! I'm happy they took you away. Ho ho! Hee hee! Ha ha!
Her name is also a joke on being the wife of Napoleon Bonaparte. And that was a response, obviously, to They're Coming to Take Me Away, haha, by Napoleon the 14th.
They're coming to take me away, haha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, haha, to the funny farm.
So this one's a slightly different one on the whole list, to be honest, as it's from the same album. This track was from side 2 of Napoleon the 14th's They're Coming to Take Me Away album. So it was all a bit of fun, really. So he wrote both tracks on this. But I just love the fact that he got a lady to come in and sing this as a response to his song. So the song is all about how his kind of wife drove him to it and all that stuff. So I love the fact he kind of got his wife to put on her like perspective of it, like her side to the argument. I think it's brilliant. So now we have FURB, Fuck You Right Back by Frankie, aka Nicole Francine Ayalo from 2004.
Well, guess what, yo? Right back.
So this was a response to Fuck It, I Don't Want You Back by Eamon Doyle from 2003. So it's a classic example of a female artist responding to a male artist. This also led people to believe maybe these two were dating, kind of brought on a whole kind of mysterious shroud over it. Probably all for publicity, I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of either of these songs, to be honest. So this brings us on to the final example, I'll Save the Last Dance for You by Demeter Joe from 1960.
You should remember too that I'm saving the last dance for you.
So this was a response, obviously, to Save the Last Dance for Me by the Drifters, with Benny King on vocals.
So darling, save the last dance for me.
So Demeter Joe was an actress, comedian and singer. So this was going in very much to what I said earlier on about the 60s being a big decade of response songs. There were so many. I just thought this would be a nice example to put at the very end of this list. So there we go, just 10 examples there of what a response reply song is. I had no one ask me to make this video, I just thought it was quite an interesting subject, so I thought let's do this, get this out there. I'm sure at least 10 people will watch this video, and maybe one of them will actually find it quite interesting. Thank you for watching the video. If you lasted this long, please like, subscribe and all that stuff. It's been very quiet here on YouTube recently. There's been tumbleweeds and stuff. It's all the crops are dying. If you like this video, go and watch a few other videos, you know? Why not? Have a party. Watch some of the playlists. That kind of thing. Anyway, more importantly, have a very nice afternoon, morning, evening / weekend.
Thank you, now your world is ours.
Fine, thank you.
What's your story?
Well, I'm in young girls' pants. I manufacture pants.
Oh, what filth.
Why do you prove it now?
I don't feel that there's any great interest in it. Clearly, you must have felt the world wanted to know what your private parts look like, and now the world knows.
Suggesting
Dummies! Dummies!
A consonant, please, Carol.
C,
A vowel.
that is E,
Another vowel.
another vowel, I.
Consonant.